A no-buy list really lets you see your current values and priorities by process of elimination. And it allows you to get more clear, not just on your financial goals, but on the areas of your life that you want to be focusing on. I've paid off tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt in the past 2 years by doing low and no buys and prioritizing the things that I want to spend money on and then getting rid of everything else. So these are the things that I'm personally not buying for the rest of 2026. Let's get into it. Let's get into this tea. Cringe. So, the first thing that I'm not spending money on this year is convenience. And by convenience, I mean things like Ubers, food delivery, TaskRabbits, stuff like that. I am fairly recently single after spending my entire 20s in a relationship. This is the first kind of era of my life that I'm living alone. So, for a while, I was really quick to just call a TaskRabbit or inquire about help for certain things because I felt like I wasn't able to do them on my own. It was great for certain things that I just physically wasn't able to do. Like, for example, moving things and driving them to a storage locker when I didn't have a driver's license. But a TaskRabbit costs around $100 an hour, and most of them you have to book for 2 hours. So, for things like hanging a mirror in my apartment or putting together a piece of furniture, hanging like larger artwork, my first line of action would usually have been booking somebody with the skills and the tools to properly install something like that. But instead, I've been just trying to figure it out on my own. I feel like there's no reason why I'm not able to hang my own mirror, not able to measure and drill holes into my walls. Like, it's just, I feel like it's a narrative that I fell into as somebody that was very dependent in a relationship, and I started believing that I wasn't capable of doing things. So not only is this saving me a lot of money, it's also forcing me to grow as a person and kind of prove to myself that I'm capable of doing things that I previously didn't think I was able to. That also goes along with Ubers and food delivery. I live downtown, so it's easy for me to just go pick up food if I feel like takeout, which I don't usually do. And for example, I don't know, I just feel like struggling a little bit is not the end of the world. So you can see outside, I have that IKEA bistro table that everyone has, and I don't have a car, so I was not able to drive to IKEA to pick it up. Instead, I paid $5 for it to be shipped to a pickup location that's like 7 blocks from my house, instead of paying the $20 for it to be shipped to my house. So when it arrived, I went to pick it up and I had to drag the box the 7 blocks to my house. Was it worth the $10 or $15 that I saved? Probably not, but I don't think there's anything wrong with struggling a little bit if you have the time and the means to do it. So, like, yes, it sucked dragging that box home. It was embarrassing to have people watch me struggle, but I made it home and I have that $10, $15 in my pocket. So, who's really winning here? The next thing I will not be spending money on is coffee and pastries to go. So, I used to be someone who would grab a coffee. Like, if I was going out to run an errand, it was like not even a question. I would grab a coffee on the go, especially the past few months when I was living at my mom's house, like living on the East Coast, driving to do errands. It was like a single outing would definitely have at least one Tim Hortons run baked into the equation, which doesn't seem like that much. And honestly, Tim Hortons is like on the budget friendly side of takeout coffee, but it was still like between $7 to $20 every time we'd go for our coffees. So now, even though I live in a city that has great cafe culture, I'm not getting coffee to go. I can make it at home. I have a French press. I have matcha at home that I can make. It might not be as fancy and tasty and quick as the cafes in my neighborhood, but I just don't see a point in getting a takeout coffee when I'm running around when I can just wait and make it at home. Like, I feel like it's one of those things, it's like your inner parent has to come out and literally be like, no, we have coffee at home. That said, I don't have any problems spending money on coffee when I'm sitting in the cafe, either on a friend date or a work date. Honestly, I don't do work dates that often now that I'm back in Montreal. I used to do work dates in cafes like multiple times a week when I was living in Istanbul, and I really enjoyed it. Even by myself, just like changing up the atmosphere of where I was working, because I work from home and I'm self-employed. It kind of felt like a good little burst of inspiration and productivity. So I am thinking I might end up doing some solo work dates or work dates with fellow freelancers in the city. And in that case, spending money on a single coffee and maybe a sweet treat, maybe not, that's okay in my books. But grabbing something just for the sake of grabbing it and like consuming it on the go, that's a no for me. The third thing that I'm not spending money on for the rest of the year is spa treatments and beauty maintenance. So I am a huge massage girly. I love getting a massage, like basically any kind of self-care like that, massages, facials, manicures, pedicures. I love all of it. I just love feeling like I'm taking good care of myself and going the extra mile. But a massage when you do not have health insurance is over $100. And I just like, even though I would love to have one, I can't afford to spend that money right now. So I'm foregoing all spa treatments. I'm doing natural nails, which is, I love having my nails done, but I have pretty healthy nails, so it's not the end of the world. The one caveat is that when it becomes sandal season, like when the summer really starts in Montreal, I will get a pedicure for the summer. I just feel like a pedicure is really worth splurging on. It's like around the same price as a manicure, but it lasts so long and it just like, I don't know, it like boosts my confidence in a weird way. Like I feel like I can't give myself a good at-home pedicure. So that will be a one-time expense for the summer, but things like massages, facials, manicures, blowouts, etc., that will be a no for me for the rest of the year and probably until I'm out of debt. The fourth thing that I'm not spending money on for the rest of the year is new books. So I am a huge reader. I'm a professional writer, so I feel like loving books is just like baked into my DNA. I'm also a published author myself, but this year I will not be buying new books. As sad as that makes me, I love going to the bookstore. I love having a stack of books and bringing it home, but my to be read pile is growing aggressively, and I just think I need to get through the books that I have now. I will let myself buy used books. Like if I go to the thrift store, for example, last week I was at the thrift store with my friend and she wants to build her collection of English language Harry Potters because she grew up reading them in French and she doesn't own the English ones. So her goal for the summer is to find all of the Harry Potter books in English at the thrift shops, which I thought was cute. And I was with her last week, and as she was picking up the English language ones, there were obviously a whole bunch of French language ones as well, because I live in Montreal. And I picked up the third Harry Potter book, The Prisoner of Azkaban, in French because I want to start reading more in French, and it was $2. So that kind of purchase I think is okay. But the rest of my reading for this year will be either from my to be read pile. I have like probably 10 books that I haven't read that I own, and from the library. The fifth thing that I won't be spending money on this year is new skincare, makeup, or perfume. So, as you can probably tell from my bare face, I'm not a big makeup girly, but I do like trying new things because I just feel like I never learned what works for my face, my skin tone. So I do try little basic things, hoping that it will become like my signature look, which I'm cringing saying that out loud. When I go out, I usually just stick to mascara, a little brow gel, and some bronzer and blush. But for some reason, I love just like, I feel like it's like those moments where it's like, oh, I'm just a girl. Like, this is on social media. I should try it and see if it's like finally the thing that like makes me feel like I fit in with the other girls, which perhaps childhood trauma induced. I'm not sure. But anyway, I have the basic makeup routine that I do when I go out, and that's enough. Like, I don't need to try new things. I don't need to buy new, like, plumping lip glosses just because I want to feel like one of the girls. Like, it's fine. And then the other thing that I like in tandem, I will not be spending money on new skincare. I feel like my skin is okay and I have a routine that works really well. Nothing is fancy. Like, I get most of my stuff is from the Ordinary drugstore brands and some Korean skincare brands as well. And it works for me. Like, my face doesn't break out. I don't know, I'm like happy with what I do, so I don't think I need to try anything new. And skincare is so expensive, honestly. Like, if you buy something that doesn't work for you, at least for me, it's like I feel so guilty, and then I feel like I need to like project pan it, like use it until it's gone, but then I end up having it for years, and it's probably not good for your face when it anyway. My point is that I have a routine that works and I don't need to change it. And then I also won't be spending money on perfume. I have one perfume that I absolutely love. It's let me go get it. I forget what it's called. Clearly not a beauty girly. But it's this one, Maison Louis Marie number 4. I just love this. I think it smells so good. And I think it's very chic to have a signature scent. So in the past, I would have like basically all of the mid level designer fragrances from like Shoppers Drug Mart or whatever. But now I just like, I love this. It's almost out. I'm going to have to rebuy it at some point, probably before the end of the year. But because it's like the signature scent that I have and use, I'm okay with rebuying this like small size version of it, but nothing else. Like, I'm not trying anything else. So the next one is a little bit abstract. It's any in person impulse purchases. So I don't know why I'm like this. Maybe it's normal. I don't know. But I feel like when I go out, like, everyone has their Amazon shopping, like, in cart shopping wish list or whatever, right? Or like a wish list in the notes app or whatever. It's like you have these things that you're thinking about buying that you can easily buy online. But it's like as soon as I see these things in the store in person, I'm like, oh, it's so convenient. I need to buy it right now. And then I'll buy something and bring it home and be like, I absolutely did not need this. I feel like being in person for me creates a sense of urgency, even if it's like not something that's on sale or not something that I need immediately. If it's something that it's like on my wish list and I've looked at online and then I see it when I'm like in the mall shopping for something else, I just feel like I need to buy it. Like, I feel like it's convenient to pick it up. Like, I'm there, I need to pick it up, I need to like tick it off my list. And then most of the time it's like something that I don't even need. So in-person impulse purchases is a no for me for the rest of the year, and like should be for the rest of my life, honestly. Yeah. The next thing on my list is clothes and accessories, which might seem a little radical, but I just feel like I have enough clothes to last me for the end of the year. Like, I feel like I have a very not trendy wardrobe. Like, I don't want to say timeless because that sounds weirdly snobby. I feel like I don't buy like trendy cuts. I don't buy trendy colors. Like, I really try to stick with things that I will like for years. So, and I try to take good care of my clothes too as much as I can. So, for the rest of the year, I will not be buying any new clothes or accessories unless it's something that I really need. For example, I need to get eyeglasses. I went to the optometrist and apparently my vision has become less than perfect, which is so sad. So I will be buying prescription eyeglasses, and if they really help my vision when I'm out, like if I notice a significant difference, I might buy prescription sunglasses too. But that would be pretty much the only exception. Yeah. The eighth thing that I'm not going to be spending my money on this year is new health and wellness products. I feel like I love solving problems, even like made up problems in my own life. Like, if I can find a solution or a workaround, it like brings me joy to do that. And that includes like health, like optimizing my health. So I'm trying to think of specific examples that I've spent my money on, but basically like tech. So like the red light face mask, I would like love to see if that makes my skin a little bit tighter, but like for $500, I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it. Or like the new face massage wand, like I have that and I spent like $300 on that like a couple of years ago. And honestly, like I still use it and I like it. Was it worth the $300? No, I don't think so. But my point is just I love trying out these new products and seeing how they improve my life. Like, I'm so somebody that buys into the you're one product away from like making over your life kind of situation, which like rationally I know that that's ridiculous, but I don't know. I just like I love products that promise to fix my life. Like things like new supplements or collagen powder or like cricket protein. those kind of things, like I am the first person to buy them and then use them for a couple of days and then fall off. So like I have my wellness routine that is like very well baked. I stick to it. It works for the most part. I don't need to add more things into what's mostly working for me, especially things that cost hundreds of dollars and are not proven to work. So, next on the list is expensive travel credit cards. Oh God, it's like so reminiscent of a previous life, but I was spending probably over $1,000 a year on travel credit cards just so that I could get the points to have status and just so that I could have lounge access. And then I had an issue with one of the bigger credit card providers. They gave my information to somebody and they had no business doing so. It was like a total breach. So that prompted me to cancel that card. It was $600 a year, but it came with like all of the travel benefits, like lounge access, priority boarding, and like these things made me feel so important. But looking back, it's like for six, probably now it's more expensive. Probably now it's closer to $700 a year for lounge access, which was like free booze and like a comfy spot to sit while waiting for my flights. It's like, okay, but like now that I travel less, and even then, it's like, who was I trying to prove? Like, what do you mean? Why was I spending that money to like sit with the fancy people before boarding my economy flight? Like, I don't know. It was just so stupid. So I'm not getting a new travel credit card. I'm not buying priority pass. I'm not point hacking or spending more money than I need to just to get status. Like my airline status with Air Canada was I guess taken away last year because I didn't spend enough and I didn't travel enough to maintain it. And even though I will admit it sucks not having priority boarding when I'm traveling, it's kind of just like, it's fine. Like, who do I think I am? You know? And then in the same vein, the next thing I'm not spending money on is traveling specifically without a sinking fund. So I do not want to put any travel on my credit card unless I have the money in a specific fund to pay it off immediately. So I would say for the last, like when I first got a credit card, which is actually crazy, I only got my first like real credit card when I was like 28. Like before that, I really like when I was working full time in offices, I only had a debit card and I was only spending what I had. And then when I went freelance, that's when I got the travel credit card and then started spending because I thought that I was making so much more money than I was before. But before that, I was really only spending on debit and I was traveling quite a bit. Obviously, like not as much as when I became a travel writer and also spending beyond my means, but I feel like I was going on at least like 1 to 2 like big trips per year. So like one trip somewhere in Europe and one trip somewhere in Asia generally. And that was all on debit and I never worried about like the cost of the trip. Like I feel like I was more budget conscious back then and it made the travel so much better. So, yeah, I will not be putting any travel on my credit card. I really want to go to Korea this year. I know I won't because I won't have the money, but I think I will start a Korea sinking fund. And then maybe next year I will be able to go to Korea. This year, I feel like I might do some traveling within Canada if I can bake it into my budget and have the sinking fund. Like, I want to go to Saskatchewan, which might seem random, but it's the only Canadian province I haven't been to. So I'd love to save up like $1,000 and do a trip to Saskatchewan. And then another trip I'd love to do is go back to Istanbul, but we will see because that's definitely like more of an expensive trip. And I feel like the past couple of years, I've just been putting trips to Istanbul, like flights to Istanbul back and forth on my credit card and then like having to pay it off like for many months. So I don't want to do that again. As much as I want to see my loved ones there and revisit kind of like my Mediterranean way of living that I had in Istanbul, I will not do it, unfortunately, until I have the funds in my sinking fund to do it. That one hurts the most, I have to say, but it's also like such a big expense to put trips and flights on credit. So the next one is kind of a new thought. I am not drinking alcohol for all of Q2. I'm doing a dry quarter because I'm trying to get my anxiety under control, my like health back on track. So I will not be spending money on alcohol. And I will also not be spending money, even if I, after this quarter, start drinking socially again. I will not be spending money on fancy dinners and wine bars. I don't know why I fell into this habit of always wanting to go to like the small plate, trendy, like fancy hipster restaurants, basically. I just thought it was cool to like see and be seen, basically, which is like so disgusting. But they're always so expensive. You always end up spending like a minimum of $100, even if you have like two plates and like two glasses of wine. And the food is like good, but I don't know. I just feel like there are affordable places that you can go. I feel like you don't have to order alcohol when you go out. That like adds such a big expense. And I also feel like there's something really intimate about inviting your friends over instead of meeting them out at restaurants. So that's something that I've been realizing since I came back to Montreal. Like the conversations get deeper. It feels more meaningful and intentional to meet up at each other's houses. And also the cost is like a fraction of what it would cost to go out to like a fancy wine bar and have drinks and snacks there. Basically, I want to be like my friend in Paris, Marianne, who always has people over. She's like the master of hosting, and she does this thing where, I mean, she puts out an amazing spread. She's like the picture perfect like Parisian woman that you'd think of, but she always has like a mix of like local friends and expats like come over into her living room and have conversations and like little bites. And those are some of my most memorable nights out in Paris. Like, it's just like there's something so intimate and cozy and wonderful about being hosted or hosting your friends and like creating an environment that is safe and fun. I don't know. I would love to not spend money on going out and instead invest my time and energy and resources into being a really good host. And the final thing is designer items. So I already said I won't be spending money on clothes and accessories, but I feel like I need to specify also that I will not be spending money on designer items. I used to have an obsession with anything with a label. It's actually like quite embarrassing to think of the closet I had that was like all of the Louis Vuitton bags that I could not afford that I owned, the Birkin bag that I had for some reason. Like, I just wanted people to know I was successful, and I felt the only way I could do so was by showing people expensive labels. So I don't think I will ever buy a designer bag again. It's kind of funny, like 2 years ago when I was really like in the thick of beginning my frugal living journey and debt payoff journey, I was going to a community pool. This is like a quick story time, but I was going to a community pool to learn to swim, and I had a Louis Vuitton wallet, like a little key card. Yeah, little wallet. I bought it for my 25th birthday. And it was stolen out of my locker while I was swimming. And it was like at a time when I was selling all of my designer stuff to put towards my debt. And I was so devastated because it was one of the items that I wanted to keep. And for a long time, I kept telling myself, like, it's okay when you get out of debt, like, you can celebrate by rebuying this Louis Vuitton key card thing. Like, don't worry about it. You can just use your, like, little evil eye purse for now, like, coin purse for now. And once you're out of debt, you'll be able to go and intentionally, with money you have, buy this Louis Vuitton key card and replace it, and it will be like a moment to celebrate that you're debt free. And that was like 2 years ago. And I already am like, I'm never going to rebuy that key card. Like, I don't think I will ever buy another designer thing outside of like, I still have a couple of vintage bags that I really like and I won't sell, but I will not rebuy anything with a designer logo. And that includes things like, it's crazy to think of like me in the past and like the things I wanted. Like, why did I buy a Smeg toaster for $300? You know, like, why did I buy diptych candles for $100? Like, why did I buy Aesop soap just so that people could see the Aesop bottle in my bathroom? It's like these labels I was almost using as a personality trait because I was scared of people knowing my actual personality. So I feel like I have this extra layer of disdain for designer items because I kind of associate it to a time when I was like deeply unhappy and deeply anxious and like deeply lacking confidence. So I will not be buying designer items this year and probably next year and for many years to come, but stay tuned. Anyway, that's my whole list. That's what I will not be buying for the rest of the year, this summer into fall and winter. Obviously, I feel like it's important to reevaluate as the year goes on. Like these lists are not set in stone. So I do recommend, like, if you're making a list like this, it helps to be open to changing it as the year goes on. Like your priorities can change, and I feel like sticking to a goal or like a pillar or a mindset even that feels like it might be a little bit stale and not working for you anymore, it's okay to change it. Like it's not like carved into stone that you have to stick this out if it's not working for you. I just think it's a good way to kind of evaluate your current priorities and commit to being more intentional with how you spend your money, because you can't spend it on everything. But when you decide what you don't need, it helps to just have some clarity around like what your actual goals are, and not just your financial goals, but like your vibes for the year, which sounds super cringe, but I just think it's like it shows you what you are currently missing from your life or like what you currently want. Like for me, wanting to become a better host and not spend money in cocktail bars. It's like it's not just not wanting to spend money on drinks and going out, but it's like wanting better connections with my friends and a better social life. So, yeah, I recommend making one of these lists, maybe even every quarter. I don't know. For me, it's really helpful, but let me know in the comments what you think. See you in the next one.